When video games were in their infancy, glitches were rare. It's hard to screw up the programming in Palm, but as games grow in size and complexity, errors pop up that leave gamers scratching their heads. These are 10 of the craziest, most mind-bending glitches that somehow actually made the games better. Grand Theft Auto 5. Flying sharks. Water environments in video games are always terrifying. You're usually struggling against a limited air supply, slow movement, and the fact that you're no longer top of the food chain. Grand Theft Auto 5 brings that same horror to you, out of the water. The sharks in GTA 5 couldn't care less about the laws of physics. Nature's perfect killing machine will swim right up out of the water and into the air, and this isn't just an amusing glitch. The sharks won't hesitate to take a bite out of you. It's like the universe decided to avenge all those poor innocents who ran down instead of doing the missions. Halo 2, super jumping. We're convinced that there's a perfectly technical explanation for why certain locations in Halo 2 had the potential to send you soaring into the air. But a far more reasonable answer is that the Earth decided to reject you for sucking. Certain multiplayer maps allowed players to super jump to otherwise unreachable locations. A common strategy was to grab a sniper rifle and run for the jump site, then spend the rest of the match tidily picking off the enemy team. The only problem was when players didn't know how and instead handed off the power weapons to the enemy team instead of paying attention to what's around them. Looking at you, XX Sniper XX420. World of Warcraft. Biological warfare. It's not often that an in-game incident attracts the attention of the CDC, but if any game could, it would be World of Warcraft. After Blizzard introduced Hakar the Soulflayer, a boss for the 20-man raid Zul'Gurub, players quickly lamented the corrupted blood spell. Not only could it drop HP to 0 extraordinarily quickly, but it could spread to anyone nearby. It's no surprise then that hunters realized that they could dismiss their pets and carry the disease with them out of the raid. Soon, players were spreading the corrupted blood plague into major cities, completely wiping out population centers with speeds that made the bubonic plague sit back and pout with jealousy. Pokemon Red and Blue, Missing No. Pokemon. The game that defined so many childhoods and launched the worldwide phenomenon we know and love today. When Pokemon Red and Blue were released, the cartridges weren't capable of storing a huge amount of data. After all was said and done, there were 256 potential slots for Pokemon, of which only 151 were used. Missing No is short for missing number, and was the error code thrown out by the game when it didn't know what Pokemon should appear. Missing No could be a variety of different weird-looking sprites, but was far better known for the side effect, producing a near infinite amount of whatever the 6th item was in your inventory. Hello, rare candies. The Sims, Demon Babies. The Sims is an incredibly popular franchise, especially among gamers who prefer a more laid-back style of gameplay that doesn't involve guns. But it may involve an exorcism here and there. A strange glitch has appeared which gives certain players' babies the looks of children that need to be bathed in holy water. Distended limbs, bulging eyes, grotesque fingernails, you name it. These babies are freaky. The cause of the glitch isn't fully known, although it's suspected that it stems from people playing on computers that aren't quite up to the task of running The Sims. Civilization, Nuclear Ghandicaust. Perhaps the most famous glitch of all time comes from Civilization. Veteran players will remember how Gandhi, a peace-loving character, would suddenly turn psychotic and begin nuking the planet. None of that was intention. The leaders in Civilization were given aggression ratings to match their real-world counterparts. To no one's surprise, Gandhi's aggression rating was the lowest it could be, 1. But Gandhi would always try to win through diplomacy, which resulted in his aggression rating being lowered by 2 points. Since computer code doesn't go into the negatives, this looped it back around to a rating of 255. In the span of a single turn, the peace-loving Gandhi would lose every shred of sanity and begin dropping atom bombs from orbit like it was going out of style. And it was, because Gandhi killed everything. Space Invaders, Increasing difficulty. Almost every gamer alive knows of Space Invaders and the way it increased its difficulty. By making the aliens move quickly, the less there were on screen. The only problem is, they're supposed to move at the same speed. Tomohiro Nishikado, the developer of the game, spent a whole year building the hardware required to run it. Even then, the hardware struggled to keep up. As you kill the enemies, the hardware is able to render the graphics more quickly, resulting in one of the best known difficulty sliders today. Race and Chase, Psychotic Cops. Long before Grand Theft Auto, a small studio called DMA Design produced a game called Race and Chase. There were 2 major problems. Playtesters thought it sucked, and the game could barely run without crashing. More and more updates were put in place to stabilize the code, but all these updates had one major consequence. They made the police AI in the game completely insane. Rather than drive like normal people, the police would ram players and try to crash them. The playtesters loved this accidental mechanic and the studio ran with it. While Race and Chase was never released by that name, it was released later as Grand Theft Auto. And DMA Design is now known as Rockstar. An accidental glitch created one of the most popular game franchises of all time, Skyrim Buckethead. It's almost cheating to put a Bethesda title on a list of glitches. There are so many strange events that happen in open world games, especially those the size of Skyrim, but one in particular stands out. Skyrim lets players move items around, perhaps for the purpose of decoration. One player decided to pick up a bucket and put it on a shopkeeper's head, and then quickly realized the shopkeeper was completely blind. It's thievery made easy. You find a bucket, you drop it upside down on someone's head, and queue up yakety sex while you clean out all of their worldly possessions. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Pikachu Men. Dedicated Smash Bros. Players got a bit bored of the base game and decided to change out character movesets. After all, who wouldn't want to play as Pikachu with Ganondorf's moves? Totally innocent, right? Wrong, as players quickly discovered some changes should never be made. Swapping Pikachu's moves for Ganondorf's resulted in human transmutation level of crimes against humanity. Because the game expected limbs to be in a certain position for certain techniques, the character's skins were stretched out, resulting in what players dubbed Pikachu Men, an abomination of all of Pikachu's cuteness and proof that true evil exists in the world. Whew. Video games, right? Glitches are inevitable, but sometimes they lead to enough hilarity to make up for the occasional inconvenience. If you have any glitch stories you'd like to share, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to CBR for all your entertainment needs.